Hello, angels. Today, I dropped short reviews of these 5 rap albums that dropped earlier in 2025. And the thread connecting all of them is that for each of these 5 artists, there was a point in their career that I was a huge fan of theirs. Though how long ago that was, obviously, depends on the artist. And so I've written all of these reviews right up here on my blog if you want to read them. And for fun, I'm going to take these albums and I'm going to rank them in order of how much I liked them. And that's going to start off at number 5 with this new Rico Nasty project, a rapper who I have been looking for better studio albums from for a very long time. Each era of Rico's career tends to have a handful of throttling bangers, great singles, but wow, her albums just so rarely manifest together into something thoroughly cohesive. Exactly the same with this one. It's on Fueled by Ramen. There's a little bit of pop punk and pop and emo going into this thing, a little bit of like emo rap, late 2000s emo rap influence, and it is just all over the place. At number 4, it's the new Amine record. Now, I'm still a pretty big fan of Amine, and there are some really great summer bops in this track list, as well as a few times where he gets vulnerable and intimate in compelling ways. But for the most part, the more introspective tracks on this record, I just find them really boring, sonically really boring, but also they're just not as deep and vulnerable as times in the past, particularly on a record like Limbo, that he has gotten this vulnerable, intimate, and introspective before. At number 3, it is the new Open Mike Eagle record, which doesn't get off to the best start in the world, in my opinion, but starts to pick up a little bit of momentum over time. It is definitely at its peak when Mike is doing some great storytelling. There's some really great features on here. I think this record is a little bit more of a honing in on what makes him interesting and unique as an artist compared to some of the previous Open Mike Eagle releases this decade that I haven't liked nearly as much. At number 2, it's the Pink Siifu record that dropped all the way back in January. One that was difficult for me to parse as a critic. It's so long, it's so indulgent. These tracks shift and turn and wind sonically. But ultimately, I think the sound palette of this thing, this brooding, muddy, dark kind of muffled sound, makes for great moments, whether Pink Siifu is going for something hot and heavy R&B styled, or dialing it in on a hip-hop banger, or going more reserved, abstract, and experimental. It's a pretty solid record, though, on the long side. And at number 1, Saba, teaming up with No ID for a really strong collaboration, a record that we've been hearing about for a long time, finally arrived, and it really does feel like a curated selection of the best, sharpest, to-the-point material that these two have put together thus far. It is not really experimental or boundary testing, but it is solid, introspective, verbose, compelling, catchy jazz rap, and I like it.